How to practice the miracle of positive thinking practically? The first thing is, don't dwell merely on your present situation. Just now, if you think and start saying, oh, there's this pandemic and that's why I'm feeling so sad, don't attribute all this to anything. Your thought process is in your hands. You verily are perfectly conscious of what you are thinking. All you have to do is change the nature of this thought process. You can very well use language like this in the present situation, that here is a chance for me to grow from within. Here is a chance for me to learn something new, to explore myself fully. So that is the language you can use instead of brooding over something, instead of regretting and repenting over something. Use positive language in your mind. This is the first practical tip. The second tip is, think only of what your life should be and not what your present circumstances are. Because remember, life does not create thoughts, thoughts create life. If you are thinking positive continuously, your life will be positive. But if you have left it to something else, then you never know what your life would be like. Because please remember this, and I repeat it, your thoughts create your life. Your life does not create your thoughts. You are primarily an embodied mind, this cognitive capacity in the human being. That is the great development born out of eons of evolution. You must use it properly, isn't it? So condition it to work in this way, that my thoughts will actually carve my life. Your thoughts actually create your life. So you have in you the power to create the kind of life you want, depending on your thoughts. The third important tip is, whatever you give energy to, that you will attract into your life. So if you are giving energy to your worries and fears, there will be this tendency to live a fearful, worrisome life. You will attract such experiences towards you. You will remain in negative states of mind because you are giving them energy through your negativity. So get rid of this completely by constantly affirming positivity, by saying to yourself, I have no fear. I am a child of God. I am a spark of the infinite. How can I have fear? Everything is positive in my life. Everything will be well with me. For God is with me, my mind is with me. What can stand against me? If you radiate, if you affirm this positivity continuously into your mind, you are giving energy only to positive thoughts. Only positive experiences will come into your life. Please practice this. This is to be practiced. On no account should you brood or dwell on anything negative. Because then you will be energizing that. And although you don't want to experience it, by energizing it, you activate it. So take care of this. Constantly keep a check on your mind and keep affirming positive statements in your mind, and you will see the very experience of life will change. Suppose you have to go out somewhere to serve somebody, say. If your mind is in doubt, should I go out in the midst of this pandemic and do this job? But if you say to yourself, all will be well, everything will be well. I've tried this out myself. It works magically. It will be well because your entire system will follow your thought process. So practice this and see. This is really like magic. The fourth practical tip which I would like to give you is, please remember, you are not going to become what others believe you to be. You will only become what you believe yourself to be. So don't give the reins in somebody's hands foolishly, because it doesn't belong there. Only what you believe about yourself will become your reality. You will manifest that. And what others believe about you will come and it will go also. It will change. But what you believe yourself to be, that is the actual fact about you, and that is all you need for your success in life. So always have faith, great faith in yourself. Vivekananda used to insist upon this absolutely. He is an atheist, he would say, who has no faith in himself. Not who has no faith in God, but who has no faith in himself. So believe in your own, every day affirm your own great destiny, your own great future. imagine it, think about it, dwell on it, and affirm it through thought and word constantly, and you will achieve it. This is the simple thing. And then, if you radiate this positivity, the next step is anything negative standing on your path will be just blown away. If you practice this positive thinking, just like how say you are walking on a road, if there's a rock, you will just kick the rock aside, isn't it? If you are very goal oriented. So also if you have practiced this positive thinking, it naturally will give you goal orientation and it will remove any negativity from your life. This is the miracle of positive thinking. And the last step is, please remember this sentence. Your life is only 10% what happens to you and 90% how you react to what happens to you. Only 10% of your circumstances, whatever is happening in your surroundings, are going to matter. The rest is all your reaction. So if your reaction is positive, very mature, very stable, because you are stable within yourself, you will have a wonderful experience of life. That is what life is meant for. It must be a fulfilling, completely fulfilling experience, isn't it? This is possible only through the miracle of positive thinking. Please see the life of great achievers. You will find this. Their mindset was like this. Completely different, completely positive. How do we practice affirming this positivity? Let me tell you a story here. This is a real life story. It is about two boys who grew up in a slum. And these two boys, I often tell this story just to demonstrate that what is it that actually builds a great life. These two boys who were growing up in a slum were very young. The younger one was 5 years old. They were brothers. The elder one was 7 years. And the mother had left them and the father was a drunkard. So they actually had no means for education and sometimes even no food at home. This was the condition. And the father would come at night drunk and batter them. And so these two boys were in a very pathetic state. But the younger boy had great grit in him. He thought, I want to get out of this. I don't want to live such a life. I don't want to live in this slum. And so he deliberately went and enrolled himself in the slum school and began his education. He concentrated on his goals because he envisioned a great life. He repeatedly thought about it, about what he wanted to become, not what he was in. What he wanted to become, where he wanted to go. And he became a very bright student. Then further on he got a scholarship after he finished school. Then he completed his MBA. He went to the US and finally by the age of 30, he became the CEO of a huge company and a millionaire. And his success story became very famous because he had come from very dire circumstances and yet such a fabulous success. Then he started helping young struggling boys in the Mumbai slum. And then one famous magazine covered his entire story. And then when they interviewed him, they asked him, Sir, can you tell us what made you become what you have become? And this boy said that it was my positive focus. I knew what I wanted to be. And what else would one become with a father like that, with surroundings like that? Naturally, it will want you to overcome all the negative influences around you. This was his expression. And the same magazine also interviewed his elder brother, who was still in the same slum, leading the same kind of life, following in the footsteps of his father. And when they asked him, Sir, why did you become what you have become? Can you imagine? He gave the same answer. He said, what would one become with circumstances like this, with a father like this? See the difference. Same circumstances, same surroundings, same family. Yet one is such a shining star, such an asset, and the other one has not made anything of himself just because he never thought of the good life. Thinking is all that matters. That is why this great capacity of the human mind has been bestowed upon this race, the humankind, this species, so that we evolve into our divine nature. Through this thought mechanism, you can actually evolve in life or you can devolve. It all depends on how you handle it. And that is why the affirmation process and positive thinking that I'm talking about, it is going to play a crucial role in your life.